And aloha! Welcome to the Blue Note Fan Report. I'm Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan, and I'm your host on the only program that is by a fan, for the fan, and absolutely about you, the fan.
So are you Guy or Guy?
Ed Danowski.
You're not in Hawaii?
I wish.
To Mr. Gary Younger.
Hi, Guy.
Hey, sir, how are you?
And Brock, how are you doing?
Doing great, sir. Doing great. Honored to have you on the show.
You know, I had the privilege while I was in the forces, in the Canadian Armed Forces, to take the Stanley Cup to Afghanistan. Only hockey fans would deploy to Afghanistan where it's 105 to 135 degrees every day, and they'd take their hockey sweaters and play ball hockey. This is the year for the Leafs. The Leafs are going to win it all this year. One of the players down the line said, "You got to be kidding. The Taliban got a better chance of winning the cup."
Hawaii Blues fan, we're bleeding blue with you. Let's go Blues! Let's go Blues! Let's go Blues!
Aloha! Welcome to the Blue Note Fan Report. I'm Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan, and this is the Don Brown Chevrolet pregame show. Man, you know, I'm not having official sponsorship from them, but I said, what the hell? Why not just do it and let them know how good we can be, right? I hope everybody's hearing me okay. Actually, there we go. Nobody was hearing me. No sound. Oh, let's try this again. Aloha! Welcome to the Blue Note Fan Report. I'm Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan, your host, and you're watching the Don Brown Chevrolet pregame show. Let's bring in my co-host after I just screwed up the entry. I had my mic turned off.
It's all right, man.
Hey, welcome to the Don Brown Chevrolet pregame show, right? I asked him ready if we could use it, and he said, sure, why not? And I said, I don't want to get in trouble. He says, as long as we sell cars, I won't. So let's see if we can sell a car or two today.
I'll tell you what, we need another one of those 10 goal promotions where they get 10 goals.
Oh, man, yeah. Off. Let's hope he's watching and he does something like that. So what a day today, right? Mm-hmm. What a news day, right? So before we do that, let's hit these comments real quick. I sent Richard the link. He should be coming on here in a little bit. And I know Caitlin wants to come on, but her game just went into OT. So they're in OT, and I told her she could wait till the game's over, right? You know, I got to do that. So Samuel Cummins. Hey, Samuel, welcome, man. He says, first, Ryan had a great point. The NHL doesn't want the playoffs to be postponed in any fashion. You have the draft, Seattle, 82 game, very important. Yes, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Hi, Brock. The story so far, Vince wants me to know how mean he is. Hey, Vince, why aren't you in the pick'em contest, bud? Why don't you get in the pick'em contest?
Talk.
Yeah, talk. Get in the pick'em contest. Joshua says, let's go underdogs. Ashley, our favorite, says hello. Oh, Ryan says we all heard you. Okay, good. I didn't know that. You had sound the first time, Guy. Heard you perfect. Remember, guys, that's double technical difficulties. I love it, man. Hey, Joshua, thank you. Stressful day, absolutely. Why the hell isn't Piranha in alignment? Okay, let's clear this up. Let's clear this up. Everybody's got this wrong. Okay, what happened? So let me go over what happened today. And before I do that, it's the mind the guy with all the knowledge, Mr. Richard Cambell. How you doing, buddy?
Not too bad.
Hey, so before we get going, I want to talk about what happened today, right? I want to get into that a little bit. So here's what happened today. This morning, or last night, the Blues and the Knights took their COVID test. They have to take them daily. Well, 4 Blues, and I was told, but I can't confirm this number, 6 Knights tested positive. What happens, though, is when the NHL gets these positive results, they start looking at them, and there's things that were peculiar. A lot of them look the same, right? So, and then, all these guys are going, well, wait a minute. These guys are inoculated. They're asymptomatic. They're not showing anything. So they went back and retested them with the quick test. Mm-hmm. And all the players that tested were not there today. I think it was Binnington, Tarasenko, Schwartz, and Mikkola. That might be it. There might be one more. I think it might. Mikkola might have been Scandella. Yeah, and Scandella. But they've been cleared to play. This does not go back to Perron. Those 3 guys are still positive tests and still on the COVID protocol. However, they could go and try and retest them with the quick stuff, right? But right now, everybody is in Denver. When they get back to St. Louis, I think that there may be some of that going on, right? That is what kind of happened today. Bubba says hello. Everybody's saying hi to Richard. They love you. Ryan Green says my Wi-Fi spot on today. You sounded like ducks. Everybody's been sharing. And okay, we covered that. So that's where we're at with that. I want to know from Richard what you think about how this was handled today by the NHL.
Honestly, it's just a disorganized part of a testing system. That shouldn't happen anywhere, especially some place where you're testing them every single day. So it just shouldn't happen, and it's a disappointment, but it did.
Well, I do say this. We got very lucky here that they didn't, and not everything got out, and they looked at it and they went back, they held players out of practice, and that was probably the big thing. That's where I think if they were going to hold players out of practice, they needed to release this statement much sooner, right? Because it did leave a lot of stuff going on. Hey, it's the drop. Hey, Lance, how you doing, buddy?
So, Lance,
you got us, Lancer? Well, he'll be there in a second. He'll hear me in a second, I think.
Where I stand on this real quick is like, first of all, I agree with Richard. It's like, come on, this is the NHL. This is the playoffs. Why in the hell are we still having these problems with this COVID testing? And number 2, if Perron was, if his test is in question, there's no reason why he couldn't have gotten to Denver. Everyone's like, oh, he's still in St. Louis. Well, it's a 3-hour flight. I mean, he could have gotten to Denver if there was some question. So to me, it doesn't really make sense. I'm still very confused that. So they're saying that the tests that they did the other night were all bum tests, but the tests that Perron did and Wallman did, those were legitimate. And that's still not washing very well with me because it's all been cloaked in secrecy. And that's my whole thing. It's like everything's secret, and I get there's HIPAA laws and all that, but it's just like, man, just be honest with people. It's just like a bunch of BS, man.
You with us, Lance?
Yeah, I'm here.
I'm moving. Is nobody else moving? Is my internet down?
I'm here.
I'm moving.
Okay. There we go. Wow, my internet froze for a second. I'm sorry about that. No, okay. So, no, I get what you're saying. I think they could have been clearer in the statement, right? That what they should have said was that the players that were currently on the list remain on the list.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Instead of saying all players are cleared, right? What they meant was that all players that they retested were cleared. All the players up, not the current players on the list. To me, that's a big thing. And I got to handle one thing. Jordan, if you keep your mouth shut, I'm going to get so mad that I'm going to stop the show and turn it off. we will end the show. That's how much I want your comments.
Mm-hmm.
You better speak your opinion, because if you don't, I'm turning this thing off.
There's no show. We have no show.
There's no show.
Yeah.
Hey, Richard, nice hat. My boyfriend is a Red Wings fan as well and likes to hit me with a Game 7 OT goal. Yeah, that's hard for us. Tommy Embrick says, let's get that W. Ian says, let's win. Joseph, Thomas, hey, welcome. Lame about Perron. Well, again, Perron is still has tested COVID. This is two separate issues, but the release made it bad, made it look like it was one. Hey, Jopis, I'm sorry if I said that wrong. Get in our pick'em contest. Go to stlfanreport.com, look under contest. You'll see it there. Today, we're over 50 people total, and we got like almost 40 in today's. We got a bunch of new people today. Guido says he's here.
Yeah, I'm real interested in hearing what Lance has to say about this, because I know he's got a hot take about this. What's your take on all this, Lance?
I really don't have a hot take. I mean, stuff happens. To me, it's blown out of proportion all day long. I've been seeing how it's a conspiracy against the Blues. The NHL wants the Avs to win and blah, 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 blah. And that's the part that's really upsetting me, is all these conspiracy fans and telling me that I'm full of crap, that I can't see a conspiracy. Hey, I'm going to ask you one question. Who won game 1 and who won it handily? The Avalanche.
Yeah.
It's not like the Blues blew out the Avalanche 8-0, and then all of a sudden the NHL's like, oh my God, we got to stop these Blues. Did the Blues not win the Stanley Cup in 2019? If the NHL really had something against the Blues, they would have stopped them from winning the Cup in 2019. I'm sure the NHL would have preferred the Bruins to win, since they were an East Coast team in a bigger market, but they're not going to come out with something that just deliberately, puts another team out in place like that. I think it could have been reported better and explained better. I understand why they didn't put it out around practice, or the guys that missed practice, because they weren't sure what's going on. But I think they could have been a little more transparent with it and said, hey, this is the situation. This is why we're doing it. This is what happened. This is what players are affected. This is how we're going to fix it, so on and so forth. And then at the end, come up with the statement, oh, by the way, these tests all proved to be negative. I thought that would be a much better way to do it.
Yeah, well, I felt hey, Lance, thanks for coming on, by the way. And Tom Fassetti says Kroenke sent someone to give Perron COVID, just my guess. Hey, Tom, welcome, man. Welcome to the Don Brown Chevrolet pregame show. Thank you for allowing us to say that. We appreciate it. Samuel Clemens.
One thing is real
tonight.
Quick.
I'm calling it now. Let's go Blues. Say again, who was talking?
I was me. Real quick.
Yes, sir.
On paper, Kroenke does not own the Colorado Avalanche. His wife does.
Yeah.
So let's all start blaming his wife and not him.
Yeah. And can I just say something about what Lance said? Because that burns me too. It's like these fans think there's a bunch of guys in a room in Toronto thinking of ways to scheme to screw the Blues. And it's like, come on, folks. It's just ridiculous. I mean, I get calls go one way, go another. Star players will get a call. Maybe a guy who's a jerk won't get a call. But I mean, come on, let's all grow up a little bit. I mean, let's put our big boy fan pants and act like educated fans. Because to me, that just is ridiculous when people say, "Oh well, they're against us," or Joe Buck hates the Cardinals because he didn't have enough excitement calling a home run call.
Yeah. And Brock, can you imagine if the NHL even thought about doing that and it got out? I mean, come on, guys. The NHL is not the NBA. It's not Major League Baseball, and it's not the NFL. If there was a scandal like that came out about the NHL, do you know how badly it would impact them for years and years? It would be worse than the steroid era before, when they first all started coming back, the fans started coming back after the strike. It would be worse than that. The NHL cannot afford a scandal like that.
Yeah. Hey, Lance. So Ryan Green says he heard your podcast today about the importance of tonight's game. He'd like to know if you can give a little bit of insight for those who didn't hear your podcast. I say give just a little bit, and then tell them where they can go hear that podcast so they can go listen to it. So you get the listens.
Well, one of the things I said was the Blues have to give these speed guys more minutes. I think Kyrou had 13 minutes 25 seconds, or 13 minutes 52 seconds. Thomas didn't have enough time in my mind. There were several people that have speed that just weren't, in my mind, either on the right line or they weren't used properly. Because I mean, we saw the speed of Kyrou in that first game when he was basically hooked, and it could have been a penalty shot.
It should have been a penalty shot.
It should have been, and it wasn't. You know, and if you know about my takes about tonight's game, I think it's pretty obvious. Close up the neutral zone, stop them just walking in over the blue line, stop them from getting multiple shots on Bennington, multiple open shots on Bennington, and don't allow them to get in front of the net. And there's a few other things I have to say about the Bennington situation and him running down the ice and everything. And I think everybody probably knows how I feel about that. But if you want to go listen to it, go to droppodcast.com. And I did a short one, about 10 minutes long. And I think you'll find some interesting thoughts on, especially my thoughts on Bennington. Let's just say that I wasn't a fan of it.
And, you know, can I just say also about the drop and you know, Lance, I just become a fan because I just appreciate your takes. I think you're reasonable.
Hold on. I don't mean to jump on you. Lance, I want to make sure it's at droppodcast.com.
Yeah. droppodcast.com.
Okay. I wanted to make sure, because I'm going to put it up, and I wanted to make sure I put it up right.
Yep.
Right. So that's why. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that, Brock. Go ahead.
No, I just want to say, I think you do a great job with it. Your takes they're not run of the mill. You really do a little bit deeper dives, and you don't just go with the flow, and you call things out that deserve to be called out. So I appreciate that, because I think there's a lot of people who jump on bandwagons in this town, and they're front runners. And you know, the Blues are great as long as they're winning, but as soon as they lose, you know, scorched earth, fire everybody. And I appreciate that you're a little bit more even keel about it.
Yeah, and that, you know, hey, when a player needs to be called out and made a major mistake, call him out. When a player played great, say he played great, even if you don't like that player. I mean, there's been times in the past, you guys have heard me here, I'm not a big Sanford fan, but if Sanford plays good, I'll say, hey, man, he had a goal and he played really good. That's the difference between somebody that's really a true fan and somebody that's just a fair weather fan or has vendettas against a
or
player.
Someone will say, that wasn't Sanford's goal, that was someone else's goal, he just tapped it in. You know,
Hey, Richard, you're being quiet over there. What's your thoughts? What's your thoughts on the playoffs so far? I mean, I know that you're more of a league guy, and we're talking, you know, we're micro, you're macro. So give us a feeling of what your feeling is of the NHL playoffs so far.
Well, I think there are a couple of exciting series going on. Right now, Washington and Boston is on for third overtime in as many games. For Tampa, Florida, game one was a quite exciting game, and Vegas and Minnie is shaping up to be a good series so far. Those are the three series I have my eyes on, along with Oilers and Winnipeg later tonight.
Okay, I'll tell you what, that Boston Washington series, third OT game, right? Carolina, Nashville, after Nashville got blown out 1-0 with a minute and 2 left in the second. Now that's a problem, because our game is after this one. So our game is going to probably shift. Now, let's cover this real quick. Let's say that this game does run long. The Blues will probably be on one of two places. The NHL Network, if you have that. Well, actually, no, because the NHL Network is playing a game right now. So I don't know where it's going to be. Well, I do know one place, NBC Sports app. The NBC app, if you have NBC Sports Channel in your package, you can go on the app and you can watch it. It's on about a 2-minute delay, though. I will let you know that. Hey, really great. We're you know, God, I'm excited.
Yeah. Hey, Guy.
Yes,
real
sir.
Quick, a name just popped up. Our good friend Sam Gibaltera,
who
wrote the book. We had him on the show last night. I want to just encourage people to go back and take a look at his book and support him. He's a young writer. Had a great conversation last night. It was a really good podcast.
Yeah, I watched that. It was really good.
Or you can go to the Blue Note Fan Report on Anchor and watch and listen to it on my new podcast channel. I'm going to be uploading every interview I've done along with some pregame, most post games and some pregames, right? If we have a really good pregame or something like that, I might upload those, but most post games I'm going to upload. So this is going to be a way for you guys to go back and listen to it. And I've heard complaints before, well, I don't want to watch the videos. You know, I want to listen to it in my car. Well, yeah, turn it on and put it on your phone and, you know, listen to it that way. You don't have to watch it, but okay. So I went ahead and went the podcast way. I've got 3 views on 2 podcasts. So, hey, I put the Grant Fuhr one out, which Lance will tell you was probably for one of my early interviews, it was actually one of my better interviews.
It was pretty good. And I will tell you, it's hard to get listeners at first with your audio podcast. I learned that a long time ago, but once it starts building, it builds quickly. And as you saw from that information that I put out, that before I stopped doing them regularly, I had about 63,000 downloads and views per episode. So it once it takes off, it takes off.
Yeah, I'm waiting. It'll come around when it comes around. You know, I'm not pushing it. You know, I gotta get it out. Gotta let people know. Hey, everybody, this is Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan, and you are watching the Don Brown Chevrolet pregame show, brought to you by the Blue Note Fan Report. I am joined today by my buddy up above, Lance DeScott from the Drop Hockey Podcast, the Canadian man, the Mountie, the guy with all the knowledge, Richard Cambell, and then there's Brock. We just let him in the door. No.
Hey,
Brock
you
Banner
love me,
from
dude.
STLFanReport.com and the Hockey Writers. Brock, tell us a little bit about your I guess I'm doing it again. Brock, tell me a little bit about your article that you put out today. I haven't had a chance to read it because all the stuff going on, but I will.
Sure. It just was something simple. Again, you know, for hockey writers, I'm trying to kind of cover it from a more 10,000 foot view, but just kind of who's the next man up. You know, that's been the theme of the Blues all year. Who is it going to be? Yeah, I didn't really see anybody in game 1 that I would say, oh yeah, that guy stepped up. Kyrou had the goal. That was nice, but who's the guy that really, left it all out on the ice? Bennington probably would be the only guy I could really say. But then also when it comes down to your goalie has to fire you up, I think that's a bad place to be in a playoff game. So a little bit about that. So we talk about that and look at some of the stats and just really look at the dominance of the Landeskog, McKinnon, and Rantanen line. How, to be honest with you, we can say that we'll beat these guys, but the fact is these guys have been toying with us, and they've been having very productive series against us really all year. So it's not really something that's new. So again, living in the reality, these guys are a handful for a reason. Yeah.
Michael Dante says, what do the Blues need to do to stop the onslaught of shots on Bennington? That's going to be the key to the game. Is it your wife's birthday or your dog's birthday?
It's my wife's birthday.
Okay. Well, I saw the picture with you with the Dalmatian. I thought it was your dog's birthday. Well, Ashley says happy birthday to your wife, and so does Josh, and I'm sure there's a whole bunch more in there.
I told her you like to sing happy birthday, so I'll have to get her in here if you end up doing it. Let's talk hockey first.
Yeah, I may have to wait until the viewers drop because we're at 23 and rising a little bit. Hey man, it's getting nice. I'm still it looks like the Boston game's still tied up, so we're just going to stay where we're at. Oh no, yep. It's still tied. I'm sorry, I just lost my place. Okay, let's go back to Dante's point. Let's go back to Dante's point. What do the Blues need to do to get the puck to stop the shots? For me, is it sustain the pressure in your zone, right? If you keep that pressure in your zone, you're not taking ones and dones. They're not running down the ice taking 3 shots, right? We're letting them run down the ice and take 3 shots. You've got to hit them in the neutral zone. And the other thing I say is take Sanford out, put Costin in with that speed and roll 4 lines. You won't know why we lost the game. Yes, the last game, it had nothing to do with the 50 shots. It had everything to do with them guys being gassed by 5 minutes into the third because they'd only been rolling 3 lines, and you could see it. you could absolutely see it.
Do you think that's the altitude? You know, they talk about that altitude up there. It's tough to play, and, you know, it kind of makes sense. The third period, the Blues fell flat, and that's when Colorado's been deadly this year in that third period in their home games, and they've won like 25 home games this year. They're tremendous at home.
Well, oh my goodness, hold on. Luca, I'm worldwide. I'm absolutely worldwide. Hello, guy. Hello from Perth, Australia. I've been there. I've been to Perth like 4 times. Great place. I love it. Welcome, Luca.
I've got one thing to say.
Yes,
Good
sir.
Day, mate. Good day,
Good
mate.
day, mate. Yep.
Good
Hey,
day,
look
mate.
on. Hey, Luca, go to Hawaii STL Blues Fan Clan on Facebook. Look us up and look at stlfanreport.com. Right? Cardinals about to bust this game open.
You know what?
Ashley says
we need an Australian correspondent.
Oh,
we
yeah.
need someone in Australia to cover hockey over there.
Hey.
For us.
Yeah. Well, there's some hockey over there. I do know that. Guy Jordan wants to know if I have any pets. I have a couple fish left. I used to be really big into fish tanks. Oh, here we go. This is a new friend that I just found. I haven't met him yet, but we're going to. Jose Freires is in Hawaii here. Aloha, Jose. Welcome to the show, man. Jose, go to stlfanreport.com and check out the contest that we got running. It'll be a lot of fun, man. Check it out. Still time to get in. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to get through all of this. I hope I'm doing okay with, making sure that this is the fan show, right? Okay. Lance, what do you think about the Blues need to do tonight?
Well, I think it is hard sometimes to stop the Avalanche from getting in the zone, without being contested. But when they do get in the zone, make sure you pressure the puck holder, get the puck away from him. Nice, crisp, short exiting passes out of the offensive zone. And if they can do that when they can't stop them from getting in to the offensive zone, things are going to be much, much better. There's going to be less pressure on Bennington. And in my mind, the formula for me, for any team to win, keep your other team, especially if they're explosive, to 28 shots or less, preferably 26. And your goalie will have a much better night. And I wanted to see what Richard thought about what Bennington did after the game, if he thought it was a good thing, if he thought it was a bad thing. Richard, you're from the outside here looking in. What did you think about Bennington's actions after the game?
Well, he's just taking out his anger from the loss, which he pour his heart out into. That's how I see it. I've known when I lose to play hockey, I'm frustrated if I played my best and we still lost. So it's not a great thing, but it's an understandable thing that happened.
Okay. I heard that he said something along the lines, let's switch nets or something like that, saying that you wouldn't be so cocky. Here's my problem. And you go back and watch that game. Watch what happens every time a Blue is anywhere near the crease. Mm-hmm. Watch it, right? Every time a Blue is near the crease, he's getting whacked in the back of the shins, consistently whacked in the back of the shins. Now, I know I see Lance smiling. Isn't that a little bush league now? I mean, you're in the NHL. You don't need to be slashing somebody in the.
And you're in the playoffs. You're in the playoffs too.
Yeah.
It happens all the time, and it's just your way of letting that guy in front of you know that I'm behind you, and you may be in front of me, but you're going to pay for being in front of me. If you can get away with it, since I'm a goalie, I say get away with it, even if it's against the Blues, because any little thing you can do, and just make sure the ref's not watching, and make sure it's not so deliberate to where a guy goes down. Because if you hit him in the back like that and he goes down legitimately and doesn't play it up and embellish it, you've got yourself a 2-minute penalty. So it's a fine line. I think it needs to be done at times. I think sometimes in the playoffs, though, they tend to let it go a little too much. But I just think it's part of the game, and
Okay.
I used to like doing it myself. So
Okay, here's the difference. When you let somebody know, did you use the flat part of your stick?
it depends.
Right? He was taking his stick and hitting them with the heel of his stick. Right? That's an absolute slash.
Sometimes
he's cutting. He's trying to cause injury.
Yeah, so sometimes I would use the flat part of the stick, and other times I would turn it and I would use the edge. And trust me, the edge is going to hurt a lot more than the flat part.
Oh,
the flat part covers more area. But I never intentionally did it to hurt somebody. I did it just to let them know, hey, here's a little bee sting for you. I'm behind you. You know, every time you come in here, you're going to get something.
Bee sting, I understand, right? Bee sting, I understand. I don't think what he was doing was bee stings.
No, it wasn't quite as bad as Ron Hextall used to do, and Ron Hextall would just take both of his hands and just whack you with a stick. But it was a little more than a bee sting. And hey, if I'm Craig Berube, I don't want to be a whiner, but I'm going to the refs or the officiating crew after and say, hey, you've got to watch Talbot. You know, he's slashing my players in the back of the knee, and somebody's going to get hurt.
Grubauer.
Grubauer. Whether it's warranted or not, that just puts a little bit of an idea in an official's head.
Well, rookie, I hated it, man. I thought the whole thing was Bush League. I was like, it happened the first time in San Jose. He's not going to fight Grubauer in the middle of a playoff game. Yeah. To me, it's just all theatrics, and it's like, come on. I mean, Jordan, I get it, but if you're the only guy showing emotion and it's in a meaningless, after a loss against a goalie, that's sad. To me, that's like your team's got no heart.
Well, hold on, guys.
Here's my take on it, and I'm going to go ahead and give my take that I did in my podcast. Okay. I think it's stupid, because if he wants to go down there and just be down there, that's one thing, to support his team. If I was him, I'd go down there, maybe yak a little bit, let Grubauer get into it with one of the Blues players, let Grubauer get hurt. To me, it's stupid for him to go down there, because what if Bennington goes down there and gets into a fight and gets hurt? We're stuck with Ville Husso with zero playoff experience. I thought that was very stupid on his part to do that. He wasn't thinking.
Okay, so I got to come. First of all, Rookie Hockey, who's an Avs fan, that needs to be clarified, says no issues with it at all. Okay, so if Benner starts slashing your guys in the back of the knee, I don't want to hear you complain one time if he does that. Not one single time, because I think Benner's going to do it tonight. I absolutely do. And he should.
Do it. He should do it.
Right? Tanner, there's a bunch of games going on, but the game that we're talking about is Blues versus the Avalanche, game 2. Carolina is up 1-0 on Nashville. The other game that's going on right now, Washington and Boston is tied 2 at overtime. And I think Edmonton and Winnipeg, I don't know what the score is on that one. I haven't had a chance to look it up. Hasn't started yet?
It's still first period ended.
Right, okay. So the first period just ended 0-0. And the game that we're concerned about, the Carolina-Nashville game, is just about starting the third period. Okay. Hey, everyone. This is Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan, and you're watching the Don Brown Chevrolet pregame show. I'm going to screw this up one way or another. You're watching the Don Brown Chevrolet pregame show. Don Brown Chevrolet is at 2727 South Kings Highway at the entrance to the hill. Go to Don Brown, ask for Tom Fassetti next week, and he'll give you a deal. Make sure you let him know you heard about it on the Blue Note Fan Report.
Hey,
okay.
Yes, sir. And Lance, you might remember this. Remember the old commercial guy that used to say the entrance to the hill? The guy had a really great, in the entrance to the hill. It was the little catchphrase,
Yeah. I'll have to look that up, see if I can get it and say it,
Yeah.
Jordan says, I think Benny would mess something up if they would let him. I agree. Earl Smith, Bennington's a loose cannon, and I absolutely believe he went down there to fight, right or wrong. And it's possible. I think what Benny did, more than anything, okay, I get what everybody says about him not going down there. Not advertising, but center ice gives a lot of options tonight. Yeah, well, I got to get center ice. And yes, at the entrance to the hill. I want that fire. I like that fire. When he has that fire, he's the best. He's at it. And I think he went down and told his guys, I got it tonight. I got it next game. I'm going to slash the crap out of them. Because that's what that was. That was from him and all that slashing the whole time. Right?
I want to see fire from somebody on the offense, though, man. I want to see fire from someone besides Braden Shen, picking a fight with somebody. I want to see some fire in a different area, man. I guess that's what I'm saying. It's like I just want to see some fire out of the offense. Like, somebody step up, do something.
Yeah, and you know what frustrates me is the only offensive player that got more than 20 minutes in a Monday's game was O'Reilly, and I think it was only like 21 or 22 minutes. That to me, I know he's trying to spread it around a little bit, but man, you got to have your best players out there because Colorado's having their best players out there.
Well, yeah, I get it. Ashley says Cairo was impressive to her. Cairo had a good game. I'll say that. Barbashev's pass was amazing, right? Problem is, they're looking for that every single time instead of just trying to set up a cycle, get somebody in front of the net and get a dirty goal. Get dirty goals. And here's the thing, what people aren't talking about is that game should have been 3-1 going into the third. Absolutely should have been 3-1. Tarasenko hits the post on a clear empty net. Open net, right? Clear empty net hits the post. There's a goal miss. Hoffman takes way too wide of a circle, doesn't try and lift the puck. He takes too long to get there, and that complete wraparound, which should have been a goal, is gone, right? So there's a lot of stuff that you got to look at here. And it's not just the defense, the offense not fulfilling what they need to do. That's what I have the issue with right now. Our offense comes from our defense. Well, it used to. It doesn't do that anymore. It really doesn't. I haven't seen that. Right?
Well,
he says dirty goals are still goals. Absolutely.
Petro, and then that was the role that Torrey Krug was supposed to play. And, he's been okay, but he just hasn't been the steady, consistent offensive force. He's supposed to be the quarterback out there. And really the only thing he's effective on the power play, but losing Petro, that was the game. He was that offensive. And that's what Vegas, you're seeing it with Vegas. He's doing the exact same thing in this series. He's being very offensive. But
with Krug, I think he did a great job assisting. What he had almost 30 assists in the season in a new system. Yeah, I think if the Blues keep him and don't leave him unprotected for the expansion draft, I think he's going to be better next year, just like Falk was in his second year here, and he'll be more adapted to it. And you're not going to see Torrey Krug just get a couple goals in the season next year, whether he's here or wherever. He's going to end up with probably 10 goals and 35, 40 assists in my mind.
Yeah. No, I thought Krug had a better year than people are giving credit for. He was, like you're saying, Lance, he did a lot better with the assist. I see them protecting him. I don't see him going the 4-4 route. I see him doing the 7-3 and protecting Parayko, Falk, and Krug, right? Now, we did have it to where everyone wanted to leave Krug unprotected and let him take that $7 million salary or $6 million salary. But Falk. Falk has earned every ounce, every penny of the last 2 years this season alone. Right? I absolutely believe that. And I'm going to stick with that. Okay, guys, we got about 20 minutes to go, give or take. Let's get into this game straight up. Has anybody seen the lineups yet?
I haven't looked at them recently.
Okay, here we go. I just got something from Jeremy Rutherford. It says Schwartz, Tarasenko, Scandella, and Bennington all on the ice for pregame warmups. They were all four players were out this morning. So right there we go. We've got that. I'm trying to see if I can get the lineups. I'm not seeing any lineups yet, so just kind of hold on that.
Yeah, I've looked everywhere for them, and I can't.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they'll come up. Should should Sanford sit and cost and play? I mean, he won't, but should he? You're still on the Sanford bandwagon.
No.
I think here is another one of the Berube-isms that I did not like before and after the game. When they asked him why Sanford was moved to center, his quote, and I might be a little bit off, was, well, when you put a guy in center when he's used to playing wing, it forces him to move his legs. What does that tell you? That tells you that Sanford was not moving his legs playing on the wing. What does that tell you? Sanford was not playing well. So you give this guy basically an upgrade to be center. And I didn't think he had a very good game Monday night. I mean, I thought he was moving around a little bit more because being center does force you to do that.
He only played 9 minutes.
Yeah. If you're going to play Sanford 9 minutes, put Costin in. My goodness, the speed alone will counteract something that the Colorado does. And he's physical. He's just as physical, if not more physical. And I think he has more of an edge than Sanford does.
Lance, you just gave away your podcast. No, I there's a guy on the internet that is very in the groups, and I can't remember his name now. It slips me. I call him the anti-Blues fan, but he made a point today that I kind of
Art Lippo.
Yeah, Art Lippo. Okay.
Yeah.
Art Lippo made a point today that I actually think was probably one of the best things he's ever said. He came out and said, Sanford's on the penalty kill. He hasn't scored a shorthanded goal. Why not put Kyrou in Sanford's place so you have that speed? We're giving up goals on the penalty kill anyway, so take that chance of converting. When I first read it, I was like, no, and then I stopped. The penalty kill's not been that bad. And maybe, that I don't know. I think it's got merit. I'll go with Richard on this. Richard's like an encyclopedia of hockey. What do you think on that, Richard?
Well, I don't know why Sanford is on for penalty kill. As he said, he hasn't scored a short-handed goal or volley, and he's not very good defensively. And evidenced by what you guys are saying, he doesn't move his feet, and you have to move your feet on the penalty kill. So that thought makes no sense to me. Now, I wouldn't put Kyrou on the penalty kill, but well, for options are there.
Well, I mean, what do you think, Brock?
Well, first of all, the whole thing with Sanford, I just have a hard time sitting the Stanley Cup champion on the bench. I mean, I think that he's been there in games and he's a grinder.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
I was going to ask him a question too, but go ahead.
No, I got to fire this. No, because you just said something that's really.
Okay.
Why is Husso on the bench? Why is Husso on the bench then?
Okay, I got you. But I'm just saying, I'm seeing the Twitter. They're saying that Klim Kostin is dressing. So I'm like confused. What's going on? Is Klim Kostin in the lineup tonight? Then I don't really know I'm trying to figure out what's going on because that's a huge upgrade.
Yeah. Okay. I understand he won a Stanley Cup, but man, that's 2 years ago. I really don't care about that. A lot of players on teams win Stanley Cups that really don't contribute that much to the Stanley Cup. Edmondson has went way down as a player. I know they like him in Montreal. Gunnarsson, if Gunnarsson was playing, and we know he did not have a good year before he got hurt, I wouldn't say that. Well, Gunnarsson won the Stanley Cup in 2019. I mean, that's 2 years ago. I understand what you're saying. In a way, he's got the experience in a Stanley Cup playoff, but I think you feel the same way. It was 2 years ago, different team, different makeup of a team. And like I said, I've got no problem with him putting Sanford in there. It's just, I think Sanford's one of those guys that's got to be put in when the matchup fits him. I don't think he's one of those guys that is an every game winger or a center. He's one of those guys that maybe should play 50, 60 games a year. I don't think he should play 82 games a year.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. By the way, Jordan wants to know, Brock, you were instant your chin. Were you thinking or just scratching?
Who knows? I don't know. Let me think about it.
Hey, everybody! I gotta get there really quick. We are at 48 people in today's game. 48 people in today's game. That is the best we've ever done. Let's get it over 50. Let's get it to 60, and then we'll push for 100 next. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go to stlfanreport.com. Look under contest. We have a pick'em contest. It's going for both. Right now, it's going through the whole playoffs. Tonight, I don't have the picture with me. I thought I did. It's something similar to this, but it's not this one. I'm giving away a Tarasenko signed picture from the Winter Classic. I'm sorry, this is his selfie, the one just before he took the selfie. I'm not selling that one. I'm not giving that one away. But I got one after he scored the goal. You know, his goal move. I've got one of those. I put pictures out. Whoever gets the highest score tonight and entered theirs first will win that. Well, hey, Lance, I know that you said you couldn't stay the whole time.
Yep.
I appreciate that. Let everybody know where they can find you first.
Well, you can find me at droppodcast.com. That's droppodcast.com. You can email me at lanced@droppodcast.com. And of course, you can find our podcast everywhere, such as iTunes, iHeartRadio, so on and so forth. Thanks for having me on. Always a great discussion. We don't always agree, but it's always fun, and look forward to being on later. And if not, you guys have a good rest of your evening.
Well, we absolutely want you on later, and I got the lines. Oh, you're going to hate them. Shan, O'Reilly, and Kyrou. Bozak centering Schwartz and Tarasenko. Thomas centering Barbashev and Hoffman. Sanford centering Clifford and Blaze. And Jim Thomas says, sorry, Clem Costin fan, despite his presence on the ice for pregame, doesn't look like he's in tonight.
I have 2 letters, BS. And that's all I got to say. Goodbye.
Okay, we'll see you later, man. Thanks for showing up. Right?
Not happy.
No, and this is now this gets you into the conversation that you and me have almost every single day. Mm-hmm. Berube, here it is. You have something that's continually not working, yet you continually push it. Costin needs to be in the lineup. We cannot go down 0-2 to this team. We're not coming back from 0-2. We're not. We have to win this game. Right? We need to go. Okay. But this needs to, if we're 1-1 going back, we can come back 2-2.
Well, here's the whole thing. And Richard, I'm sorry, you got to stick through this because I'm on this side, you're on this side, and you're in the middle of us fighting here. But it's like you guys want to put everything. There you go. Now we're changing. You guys are putting everything on Berube, and it's like, the guy's won the Stanley Cup before. He is a champion. He's led the team. I get it that he's not making a lot of friends this year, that he's made a lot of questionable decisions, but the fact is that this is a 7-game series. You coach it a little bit differently than you would in a regular season matchup. So you're coaching for the long haul, for the series. Putting Kyle Clifford in, I thought was a little bit of a curious decision. Obviously, he's going to be played in a physical game. He's going to play a lot of heavy hits. So we'll see how that changes things. So I'm a little bit surprised about Kyle Clifford being in, to be quite honest with you. But, I think Berube's doing what he can with what he's been given.
Is Costin better than Sanford? Okay, you just admitted Costin's better than Sanford, yet Costin's sitting on the damn bench.
Well, I mean, I can't really say that because –
hold on. Costin has Costin just won the Gagarin Cup. He just won a championship. He's in that shape. He's in playoff mentality. Right?
Okay. So here's why. Because this little patch right here, this is what Zach Sanford has worn for 4 years now on his jersey. It's not KHL or SQL or whatever. It's NHL. So he's been in the league. So not only has he been in the league, he's stayed in the league, and he survived in the league. I just think fans need to give him a little bit of a break. He's not Brett Hull. Okay, he's not.
Hold on. I get he's not Brett Hull, but you know what? He's not Kelly Chase either.
Well,
Kelly Chase didn't score a bunch of goals, but he held up his own. Sanford doesn't hold up his own. Right?
Again, comparing Sanford to Costin was what I was trying to get. Sanford's played in the NHL. Costin has played one game at the end of the season in a trash game. So there's a difference in the quality of games.
No. He played in the middle of the 18-19 season. Or no, last year. He played last year. In the middle of the season. He played in 3 games, got 1 goal. Walker came up and played in 3 games and got 1 goal from some injuries. When Schwartz broke his foot and Steen got hurt.
Yeah, okay. I do remember that.
Okay.
You're saying corrected.
Right. So that's where we're at there. Jordan says, Brock, you make good points. Guy, you make good points. I think Costin is better than Sanford. Oh man, I've got all my things just went and I can't see it on the screen. There we go. Comfort is better than but Sanford isn't a crappy player. Sanford is only in the league still because he's a coach's pet, and that's quite possible, right? You're wrong, Brock. Hey, and that's not me. You guys are losing the focus. It's the veterans. It's the veterans who have to show up or we lose. Good point.
Yeah. Good
point. Now, when you look at that last game, do you think the veterans didn't show up? And I thought they did until the third period. That game was 1-1. They missed a couple of possible good goals, right? Could have easily been 3-1. Bennington was on fire. They gassed out. Because the third line, up until the third period, played 3.5 minutes. The fourth line, 3.5 minutes. In 2 periods. Or 4.5 minutes, something like that.
I'll tell you what, I agree with Dennis is saying when he talks about the Berube thing. I think that the blame is right there with the veterans. I agree with him, man.
Berube, that's true, Berube. Which one are you saying? That the guys are losing the focus? Is that what you're?
No, I'm saying what he said about the veterans. It's the veterans' job to turn this team around, not Berube's.
Right. Okay, I get that. Chris Shockley says I picked the Blues and RR has to be his horse tonight. Okay. Bombs from Hoffman and 55 slap shots from Vladdy. No dusting it off. Good. I agree with that. Even when I'm wrong, I don't lose arguments. I would never lose an argument to Guy. Trust me, I don't lose those. If you argue with Guy, you will always lose. Okay, now I'm going backwards through the quote. So now I that went backwards. Now that makes sense. Sanford's better damn well shine, or I'm going to be losing my crap.
Yeah, I get it.
I'm with you, Brock. Hate to say it, but I'm giving the benefit of the doubt to the guy who has spent his whole life in hockey. Okay, fair enough. Oh, we're moving right along. Hey, it's my pick time, right? This is the time in the show where I make my pick on the Fan Report contest. If you don't know how to do it, this is your time to go and do it. Follow along with me. I'm Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan, and this is the Don Brown Chevrolet pregame show. We're brought to you today by Forrest Crump Enterprises, War Stories Coffee, and Mike Zook Enterprises. We are glad to be listening and watching with you today. So here's what you do. You go to stlfanreport.com. Right there, you can do a couple different things. So to get there, from stlfanreport.com, you come over to contest, scan right down here to the Pick'em contest. There's the standings. After the results, I will post what everybody picked. I don't do that until after. And then you can find different results. And there's the rules. I need to update those, but they're right. They just don't cover all the playoffs. You can click enter the contest, or you can scan down here, enter your email address. First and last name, try and keep it the same because that's how my system finds you. And I screwed my email up again. I do it every time. There we go. Pick who's going to win. Oh, man. Yeah. I think the Blues are going to win tonight. And I'm going to say, I'm going to go with the standard 3-1, 31, 3-1. I think they frustrate him tonight. And 3-1, I should go with Bennington, but I don't want to lose points because I had a good game last game. Brock, that's the other thing we got to talk about. The last game, you stole a perfect game for me. You know that, right?
I know that. I've been going with Jordan Kyrie the past couple times, and he's done nothing, and he finally gets a goal for me.
Yep. I had it. I had that game. What got you the game, I'm talking about last night, the wild game.
The wild game.
Yeah. I had 3-1. You had 4-1. Well, that's how you enter the contest, everyone. So go to stlfanreport.com. Get in. You have until puck drop. So get into the contest. We'd love to have you in there. Okay, guys, it's time for last thoughts. I'll start with Richard. Last thoughts before we get to the game time.
Well, I think Sanford, Clifford, and who's the other player on that fourth line?
Sanford, Clifford, and who was on the fourth line? Sanford, Clifford, and
Blaze.
Yes, Blaze. I think that line really has to get more minutes here. I've watched the Islanders game last night and the Washington game before I came on to this. The fourth lines have been the biggest effects on both of those teams. So I think if the Blues do that, and if O'Reilly saddles McKinnon, it is possible for the Blues to win. But I'm still going to go with the Avalanche, as I don't think that's going to happen.
That's a fair assessment. Brock, what you got for us?
Well, I actually picked the Blues to win a 3-2 overtime. So we're going to be up late tonight, buddy. It's going to be a late night for us. I just see it's going to be a tight game, and I think there's going to be chances. But, again, the Blues got their hands full with the Avalanche. I do see I think I chose Robert Thomas to get the overtime goal. So I'm kind of expecting big things from him. Again, saw a comment earlier about Tarasenko. I want to root for the guy. I really want to root for the guy. I want him to be my favorite player in this series. But, man, he just hasn't shown up. And I know he's playing defense and all that, but I want to see him score goals, man. I miss you, man. Vladdy, come back. We need you.
Yeah, that would be a big help if Vlad would score some goals. This game has a potential to be something nobody saw coming. This game has the potential to be a blowout. And I'm talking the Blues blowing out the Avalanche, right? Wow. There's some usually when some things happen like what happened in the last game, there's some overconfidence gets in there. This is what happened to the Blues in the second game of the season, right? The Avalanche just came out and overwhelmed them. The Blues could do that, right? The Blues could do that if the Blues got a goal or two early. Absolutely, that could happen. So be aware that there's a lot of that I think could happen. For me, the first 5 minutes of this game, which I hope I can watch, is going to tell everything. The Blues cannot let Colorado control and shoot early. They've got to get Colorado to one and done. They've got to make sure that they're getting more shots off. Shots. So should we put $100 per goal tonight? You know what, Tom? Absolutely. Somebody out there might need a new car. Let's go ahead and do that. And we'll make sure we put it out on the intermission if you'll do it. Right? Hey, by the way, has anybody come on and bought a car since you've done that? Go ahead, bud.
I want to know, did he ever sell that cool Camaro we had on last week? Remember he had that Camaro?
Oh, yeah. Hopefully we'll get him on the hopefully he'll be on the intermission show and we can bring him up then. I'm looking. I don't know if the game started yet. Have you guys, either one of you guys seen if it started yet? See, do you have Bally's, Brock?
Let's see. I'm actually watching it on the stream and it's coming up here in a second. Well, hold on. My internet's going crazy. Hold on. This is crazy.
Okay, yeah. They're saying it's not on yet, so we're still
that's
we
probably
got a
why
couple of
it's
minutes,
not showing up.
right? It is. Oh, it's not on Bally. It's on CNBC, but my problem with it being on CNBC right now is the Nashville Carolina game still got 10 minutes to go.
So the stream I'm watching says commercial break in progress. I'm kind of waiting to see what that happens. So
okay.
But anyway, so again, I think tonight's the season, man. If the Blues lose, it's over. It just is. I'm just sorry. It's over. I don't see them beating the Avs 4 games straight, but they win tonight, get it close, bring it back to St. Louis.
Because they're not winning 4 out of 6. They're not winning 4 out of 6.
I mean, they're not.
Right?
They're not.
They're just not. And I'm dead certain of that.
Yep.
I want to have a lot of fun. Hey, Richard, have I got you back for intermissions?
I can probably do the first intermission. I'm not sure that about second intermission, but first I'll be here.
Yep. I know you got. I know how late it is there. Valley just blacked out, so game on. Okay, guys. Have a great day. Sorry, so no sales, but they're coming, and we still have the Camaro. And I just got a 2017 convertible with 16,000 miles on it, and it's $100 off per Golden Night. There you go, $100 off per Golden Night, and that's for either team. So total goals. So lots of goals. Well, not for me, but let's see what happens. Guy, hey everyone, this is Guy, and got to hit the right button.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
The laugh track. I didn't know we had a laugh track.
Yeah, I needed that. Yeah, I've got all kinds of tracks, man. Yeah. So this is Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan. For Brock Banner from STLFanReport.com, and from Richard Cambell from Sports Street and STLFanReport.com, I'm the Hawaii Blues fan. This is the Don Brown Chevrolet pregame show. We cannot wait to see you on the second intermission or the first intermission show, because we are bleeding blue with you. Aloha, my friends. Aloha.